In IP version 4, we can assign the address to the PC. One is manually we can assign the IP version 4 address to the PC or using DHCP. So DHCP means dynamically we can assign the IP address to the PC. In IP version 6 there is one more advantage, that means it automatically generates the IP version 6 address of that PC. Here we can see, so we can go to that particular PC here in command prompt. So in previously I will give an IP version 6 config space auto config, then IP version 6 config. So the syntax for automatically generate the IP version 6 address without using DHCP is, the command is IP version 6 config space auto config. It automatically generates the IP version 6 address. Then IPv6 config means it will display the IP version 6 address. So previously it will not generate the IP version 6 address. So for what reason it cannot generate IP version 6 address automatically means I will not enable this interface into IP version 6. So for then afterwards I will go to that router. So I will go to that particular interface fast ethernet 0/0. Then I will enable IP version 6. Then it automatically generate the IP version 6 address. So now we can see in that PC IP version 6 config. So the IP version 6 address is not generated. So the syntax for generating IP version 6 is IP version 6 config space auto config. Enter. IP version 6 config. Yeah, here we can see the IP version 6 address can be automatically generated. So this is an net ID. So in host ID it automatically generated. So how the host ID can be generated means the MAC address of that PC. So the MAC address of that PC is 0001.9668.DDE1. So MAC address is an 48-bit address. So the first 7th bit is 0 means we can take as 1. If it is 1 means we can take as 0. So each character indicates an hexadecimal. So 0 means 0000. Next is 0 means 0000. So the 7th bit is 0. So we can take as 1. So the corresponding value is 2. So 201:96. So first 24 bits of MAC address. Then we have to insert FFFE. Then last 24 bits of MAC address. Okay. So in IT department also we can automatically generate the IP version 6 address into that PC. So we can go to that particular interface fast ethernet 0/0 IP version 6 enable exit. Okay. Now we can go to that particular PC and give IP version 6 config space auto config. IP version 6 config. Yeah, the IP version 6 address can be automatically generated. So here we can see the default gateway. In IP version 4 the default gateway can be taken as fast ethernet 0/0 address is taken as a default gateway. In IP version 6 also we can taken as fast ethernet 0/0. So in fast ethernet 0/0 have an link local address. I already told you each and every interface we can enable IP version 6 means it automatically generate the link local address. So the link local address starts with FE80::. Last 64 bit is taken as an MAC address of fast ethernet 0/0. So MAC address is an 48-bit address. First 24 bits MAC address, then it will insert FFFE, then last 24 bits of MAC address. So that can be taken as a default gateway. So in CSE department the default gateway is the link local address of fast ethernet 0/0. So in CSE department if they are connected 100 PC means in 100 PC the default gateway is same. The default gateway address is taken as an fast ethernet 0/0 link local address. In IT department also the default gateway can be taken as fast ethernet 0/0. So this link address can be taken as a default gateway. So IP version 6 config auto config to generate the IP version 6 address auto. Next IP version 6 config. Here we can see IP version 6 address, then default gateway is an link local address of that port fast Ethernet 0/0. So we can go to that particular router, do show IPV6 interface fast Ethernet 0/0. Here we can see the link local address is FE80::, so the 209, so this is a MAC address of that fast Ethernet 0/0. So 48-bit MAC address, and it will insert FFFE. So that can be taken as a default gateway of this network. Okay, now we can go to that EC department. So before that, we have to enable that interface as an IP version 6. IP version 6 enable. If you are not giving this command, means it cannot automatically generate the IP version 6 address on that PC. So for that purpose only we can enable that interface. So IP version 6 config auto config IP version 6 config. Yeah, here we can see the IP version 6 address. So first 64-bit is an net ID, and last 64-bit is an the MAC address of that PC is 48-bit. Then it will insert FFFE. The first 7th bit is 0, means we can take as 1. If it is 1, means we can take as 0. So each character is an hexadecimal. Okay, so in that PC IP version